Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And we're trying to sit into normal mode, having just done an 80s inspired video with some other branded guitars. It's quite difficult to slip back into regular review mode, but we're going to do it anyway.
We're going to try.
We're professionals.
We are
aren't
professional, and this is a sensible, well, semi-sensible review. As sensible as Rob and I ever get. ESP, a fine and dandy brand of guitar that Rob here is, a big fan of. Last year, a new range of ESP came out called the 330 series, and we didn't review them at the time because, if I'm completely honest with you, they kind of came out and they were okay for the money, but I didn't think they were necessarily outstanding. And then at the beginning of 2012, ESP decided to reprice them downwards to a price now which makes them worthy of a video review, because these have dropped by anything from between 150 and 200 pounds now to their new price. So there are 4 or 5 different shapes in the range, all the usual ones you'd expect, you know, ECs and the H series and Vipers and things like that, but I've just bought 3. So
I think, well, the first thing I want to say about the 330 series is that a lot of people will perceive some of the quality by the number.
Yes.
Because you get various numbers of series. I think the thing I want to say is that when they make a 330, they don't go, oh, we'll use our really bad bandsaws to cut the fret, stuff, or we're going to use bad fret wire, or we're going to make them finish bad. They're great, and the second you pick one up and play it's. I mean, Stick and I were just like, what? What? This is so affordable for the quality. It's unreal. I mean, it sounds fucking awesome.
Tell me about what gear you're using.
That's fucking great. What a great guitar.
Yep.
I'm going to leave that in the video. It sounds really good. I'm using the Micro Mezzo-Boogie Stat is small now. It's not big. It's mini rec, which we're really enjoying actually. I think we gave it a bit of a hard press in the video a while back, but we've discovered that it is really good. I think if you push the lead channel really hard, it gets a bit mushy, but other than that, it's great.
Yes.
I'm using a Holy Grail for the reverb and this amazing guitar. And check this out.
What do you call that sort of scale, or that sort of, very moody kind of...
This one?
Yeah. What's that?
This is like a Phrygian.
Phrygian?
Yeah.
And you're a girl.
Yes. It's a minor scale with a flattened second.
Ah, I see.
I like it a lot. So yeah, I mean the pickups sound great. It's really clean. You get that with EMG type pickups. You get that cleanliness, don't you? You can see how good this trem is. If I'll play a chord and I'll use one finger and I'll just very gently touch it, and you see how well this is set up. And I'm just like stroking the end.
Just flicking the bean, aren't you?
Yeah. Proface. So, but you don't really want to hear the cleans.
No.
To be quite honest with you.
I do, but everyone else won't.
I love the cleans with active pickups like this, but let's flick this down to channel 2 and you'll start to hear a little bit of film. This over here, dear boy.
Yes,
it's in the way of my elbow.
No.
It's tight and focused, and it's got the growl and it's got that purity, but the metal tone. It's great. It's a great guitar.
Before we move on to one of the other models that we've got here, these guitars are probably affordable enough for someone to consider maybe even buying one as their first guitar or second guitar. And I do just want to say a little word of caution here. If you've never had a guitar with a Floyd Rose trem system on it before, do just be aware that a Floyd Rose guitar is a higher maintenance guitar than a guitar with perhaps a fixed bridge or a sort of more like a traditional tremolo system. It will take you a little bit longer to restring. It will be more complicated if you want to do sort of drop tuning and things like that, because the trem essentially needs to be reset every time you change tuning.
You have to pick one tuning and stick with it.
Yeah. So as long as you're cool with that, and there's millions of brilliant videos on YouTube that you can go and search for how to set up my guitar with a Floyd Rose trem and things like that, just to give you a little bit of extra background information. But as long as you are going into this understanding about using a guitar with a Floyd Rose, this is a fantastic value guitar.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we know about making
Have we said
guitars.
how much they are? They're less than... Well, I always hate giving prices in these videos because, with over time, these prices will change.
Well, let's start with the price on that one then.
Well, at the moment, the two fixed bridge guitars that we've got here
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, are £370. And the M-330 here with the Floyd on it is £450.
Yeah. You really can't go wrong there.
No, they're
I mean,
great
that's
value.
crazy.
But always go to the Andertons website just for a final check on the price.
Yeah.
One of the really, really popular models in the range, and it's the first model that you get proper EMG pickups on, is the 401 series. And so essentially this is designed to sit just underneath the 401 series. And the thing that is most obvious really is that ESP have managed to save a bit of money by not using EMG pickups. So they've taken their LH-200, which is the kind of the normal sort of passive humbucker that you get on a lot of the sort of sub £500 EMGs, and they have made it active.
But let's just be honest, it's just an ESP version of an EMG pickup, isn't it?
It goes even beyond that. Not only does it sound like an EMG, I'm not even entirely sure whether ESP have been a bit naughty here, but the little gold lettering in the corner of the humbucker that would normally say EMG just says ESP in exactly the same font, in exactly the same position.
They sound... I'm going to say they sound identical to EMG pickups.
Well, EMG might disagree.
They might disagree, and they're
good,
more than welcome to do so. But, I mean, they've done a very good job in making an ESP version of an EMG pickup.
So don't forget, obviously, on any active guitar, if you haven't had an active guitar before, it means there's a battery in the preamp. You will need to change this battery periodically. Most active guitars that I'm aware of, what tends to happen is as soon as you plug the lead in, you activate the circuit. So don't leave your guitars plugged in and leant up against your amplifier for sort of 2 days while you're not playing.
But it's worth saying, if you're careful with how long you leave your lead in, then it doesn't wear down fast. I mean, you could be playing for
6 months to a year,
absolutely, and not change it.
Yeah,
and do experiment with different kinds of battery power. Because I have done, and it's interesting.
Yeah, if you really want to get into it. But typically speaking, the big difference between an active circuit and a passive circuit will be that the pickups are normally cleaner in terms of background noise, so there's normally less background noise. They're normally a little bit more sort of full on in terms of their gain output, so if you like a heavier sound with your amplifier, it's a great pickup to sort of use to drive your amp hard. If there's a downside, perhaps they're not as dynamic as a passive pickup would be, so if you're a kind of a player that likes to really hear a lot of nuances in your style as you sort of pick at different sort of attack rates, maybe an active pickup's not for you.
But if you're a metal dude...
Yeah, if you're just balls to the wall metal dude.
Yeah.
I'm in your eyes!
You can't do that anymore. There is a little bit of hate for active pickups, but that's just all rubbish because they're great pickups. They sound good if you like that kind of thing.
I'm just taking the plastic off the front, the protective shield. Shields are down!
Try telling Zach Wilde EMGs are wrong, an active pickups are wrong.
Because he'll probably just kill you.
He'll kill you and drag you past a radiator and then eat you. That's how he likes
all he
his
needs
meat.
to do to just sort of get it
just
mildly...
drag you past a radiator and then eat you.
Or you could tell Kirk Hammett that you don't like active pickups and he'd probably just go...
Oh, you might have summoned a few dudes now.
Don't put that in.
I'm going to put that in. That's all I'm going to put in the video. So, well, what have we got here? We got a maple neck, and it's...
Well, which one have you got? Which model have you got?
Well, I've got the 330R.
What's the first letter? M. That's important.
M dash. It's a three-piece maple neck, and it's bolted on. And from the words I'm saying, you'd think that means that it's no good. Because if you think about bolt-on 3 pieces, you'd think, well, the quality's low. This is awesome. I mean, it's really good. It's bound. The fretwork is awesome.
Obviously, when you're trying to make a skinny neck, so like a skinny maple neck, so that it'll appeal to the guys that want to play fast.
Structurally, you need the 3 pieces.
Yeah, three pieces glued together is actually stronger than one piece.
You take a look at most bass guitars like Warwick, they'll use that construction method because there's a lot of weight and a lot of
if you've got a thicker
power.
neck, like a Les Paul or perhaps a more traditional Strat neck, often they don't need, often they can get the structure with one piece because it's a little bit thicker. But on a skinny neck, you look at all the sort of Ibanez Wizard necks and the ESP necks, they'll generally be made of multiple pieces of wood to give it extra strength.
An affordable guitar, and yet the neck is bound. The fretwork is fantastic fretwork, and it's jumbo frets, they're really nice. Lovely rosewood fingerboard.
What would you call those inlays?
Oh, I call them like shark inlays, pretty much. They're like arrowy sharkies, sharrows. And we've got a licensed Floiro special. Oh, God.
We've got a license to go
We got... But the Floyd is great. I mean, it's really good.
It's a licensed one, say?
It's the special.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny. I mean, it's really, really...
Well, that's the trend when we did the Floyd Rose shootout way back when. Against everything. Always won.
Yeah. I mean, it is awesome. I mean, you can't hear how awesome this feels, but it's completely smooth. I mean, there's nothing in the way. It's really sensitive. It's very easy to move. I mean, they set it up well. Thank you, Pablo.
What are the knobbles on there?
Well, there's one.
Oh, there's one knob.
And I like that
a
lot. It's one knob and it's volume.
Volume.
Now, I did once consider making a guitar that didn't have that, and you just plugged it in and it was on, because I think that would be cool. But they've just put the volume knob there, and that's it. And it's knurled. It's not a low quality knob. The rotation is nice and easy. I'm trying so hard not to be in an 80s band called Pearl Necklace. Three-way switch. What else do you need? Not a lot else, really.
No, that's cool.
Locking, machine heads.
The little R in the model number means reverse headstock. So you get this kind of cool look as if you're like Jimi Hendrix and playing a left-handed guitar upside down, which is cool.
The other thing is LTD. I think initially people thought LTD guitars are a cheaper version of ESP, and they are.
Yes, they are.
But there are some serious artists playing LTD guitars, and I would count myself among them. But there are many signed acts, big bands that will go out and they'll get LTDs. And if you're a signed act and you get a deal with ESP, often you'll get given an LTD. And they are high-end guitars. I mean, some of them are super high-end guitars. Made in Indonesia. I know a bunch of other manufacturers that make guitars in Indonesia. It's a great company to make guitars.
This last year or two, maybe, 2 or 3 years, I'm seeing a lot more guitars coming out of Indonesia now. As I think, I really, again, I don't know an awful lot about... the country or why that's the case, but it does seem that as Japanese and Korean guitar manufacturers have sort of almost priced themselves out of the budget market, and people are looking for something where China is definitely still kind of hit and miss as regard to quality. There are some amazing guitars come out there, but there are also some guitars less amazing. But Indonesia, there's a few brands now using that.
Especially like Faith Guitars make
Faith guitars, all the Squire sort of classic vibe stuff.
Yeah, they have really good woodworking skills.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and what ESP do, which is, and I know this, which is a little bit different, is they actually send Japanese officials to the factory to oversee everything.
Yeah.
So they got quality control down. If you turn it around the back, it says ESP here, and then it says ESP here, and you've got a quality guitar, basically. That's all you need to know about this guitar. It's black, it says ESP
I don't
on
think
it.
Does it come in any other colours?
Doesn't
Do you know
need
what?
to.
I was about to go to the Andertons website, and then I remembered I'm wearing my Rockbox t-shirt, not the Andertons one. So go to the Andertons website, which you should know by now, and if you search for any of these guitars, you'll see whether they come in different colours or not. Let's have a little listen to this one, and then we can switch back to Rob playing
on the orange black.
So we've got this bizarre concoction here. It couldn't decide if it wanted to be a black star or an orange, so it decided to be both.
It's an orange star.
But it's an orange star, a black orange.
Orange.
Anyway, it's a Black Star amplifier that one of the guys here owns, and he decided he'd have it recovered in orange to be cool.
By Pablo.
By Pablo. So, essentially, we've kind of said most of the stuff that we told you about the M-330R is the same. So, this is an all mahogany body, 2 of these new active ESP pickups on it. Although this time although it's a bolt-on neck, this is actually a mahogany neck with a rosewood fretboard. Some like a flag style inlays, which you call same tuners that you've got on that guitar. And now we've got 2 volume controls, 1 for each pickup, and a tone control, and a 3-way switch here. So it's going to sound similar, I would have thought, to that one, but perhaps different because I'm using a different amp. But this is my neck.
Well, the difference in scale length will mean it's a little bit looser and a bit hoopier.
Is it a different scale length?
Yeah.
I might just have to check.
Traditionally it would be, but maybe it isn't.
No, Chappers is 100% correct in that traditionally this should be a 24 3/4 inch scale length. 24 3/4.
Is it
You're
really?
so right.
I'm right.
He's right.
So it's going to be looser and hoopier and sort of, scoopier.
Again,
Lamb of God here.
Sorry if I'm teaching you to suck eggs here, but the scale length is from the nut to the bridge, and the shorter you make it, so like traditionally on a Les Paul, it's a little bit shorter than it would be on a Strat. What happens is the strings have less tension when they're tuned to pitch, so they feel a little bit easier to bend, and it gives you a different kind of tone as well. So you have the choice of either using the same gauge strings as you'd have on here, and it being perhaps lighter and easier to play, or going for a heavier gauge of strings, so that it sounds a bit fatter, and then ends up feeling much the same. Yeah, I think that's what most people would do. So this is my... Could you know, that was so quiet there, I suddenly thought I've broken. It's broken. But actually it's not, it's just quiet. So this is the neck pickup. This is the bridge pickup. Here, much brighter. This is the two together, kind of in between.
You've got two volume knobs and one tone, haven't you? So you can dial in the rhythm tone to be, louder or quieter than the lead tone.
So I guess if I wanted to, I could have the neck pickup set to like a sort of a rhythm. So, and then instantly get that volume boost like that, which is kind of cool. Again, it's pretty similar to a regular Gibson Les Paul in the way that their tone and volume controls would work.
Can I have a chop on that guitar?
Of course.
All right.
Yes. I think it would be best if Chappers was to do all of the speed playing.
Oh, well, not necessarily. I'm interested. Mother of guitars. That's silly, isn't it?
It's got a gloss finished back to the neck as well, so a little bit different feeling.
It's a little tiny bit sticky. Sort of this is a fatter neck for sure. I mean, it's not a fat neck, it's just a fuller neck than the M-330R, which is a very skinny neck. This is a deeper, darker tone, probably because the neck is much fatter. They're both mahogany bodies, aren't they? So
yeah, I think that's a mahogany neck.
Yeah, so you're going to get, this is a darker, fatter sound. That plays really, really well.
Do you want some
give me some
ganache?
orangey Black Star filth.
The sustain, just do that again on the bending. More on the G. Try that.
It's a good amp.
Yeah.
It's a great guitar.
But that's what you get when you, again, fixed bridge guitars, typically speaking, will give you that sustain.
Yeah.
And of course the mahogany body tends to sustain well. What I do like on, what I should point out rather, again on a fixed bridge guitar, the cool thing is if you want to drop tune, quickly drop down, drop D or drop down to E flat or whatever like that, there's no mucking around resetting the trem sister or anything like that. So it's a great guitar to own if you're just going to have one guitar and you want to be able to pop between different tunings.
Yeah.
Let's and
Can I try that one
finalement, yes, absolutely, of course you can.
I like they got the F series headstock on it.
Yeah, it's the 3-a-side headstock.
Oh wow, that's nice.
What's that?
Well, I thought that this body binding was just black. It's not. It's like pearly kind of.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Black grey. It's actually super nice and stylish. Something a bit of a bugbear of mine. Is a giant bear that lives in my basement. A bit of a bugbear of mine about ESP is that some of the LTD, like the deluxe models, have like super loads of binding, and it's just like, really, you want to be that company with all that binding there? And they seem to do, but they've quieted it down a little bit now, and it isn't too uber binding. It's more kind of subtle
There's definitely
and nice.
different markets around the world that, you know, some markets seem to like, when I say markets I mean different countries and stuff like that. Some like the kind of the understated, you know, normal sort of inlays, and there are other markets in the world that, you know, love their bling.
Well, LTD is an entirely American operation, so I mean it must be an American thing that like that kind of, you know.
Don't they sell LTD all around the world?
LTD's owned by America.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, as in they obviously sell guitars all around the world. Don't
They sell them all around the world.
and there are some countries, again, that love the kind of the tree of life, kind of multi-binding, pearl inlaid dragons everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's not generally England.
No.
Or Great Britain.
We like our guitars like we like our women.
What, plain?
Fat and good at cooking. I'm kidding. So yeah, let's. On that note, let's take.
Just on that,
no.
hang on. Just for a bit of fun here, and it's not a big part of this video, but
Look how nice it goes with the guitar with the grey and the white theme.
We haven't done a video yet using the Wampler SLO distortion or slow distortion. So
What does slow come from, Lee?
the don't tell me because I'm going to remember his name.
I'm not going to tell you.
shortly. Soldano, the
Yeah.
Mike Soldano SLO, which was a, sort of like 100-watt, super high gain, hot rodded Marshally.
Some may say the
amp.
pinnacle of high gain kind of Marshally type.
It was
amp
probably
designs.
certainly Soldano's kind of most famous amplifier. So this is Wampler's kind of recreation of the SLO.
I like the way you said that recreation. Recreation. It's like you were doing some kind of documentary for animals.
I might try and do that recreation. Look out, Darth Vader's on sound. Yeah, actually, do you know what? You look a bit like when he took his mask off and you could see his head with all the brain sticking out. That's essentially what it
Are
looked.
you saying my face looks
No, the way your hair kind of comes around the
Your hair
outside.
looks like a
Luke,
burnt old
Luke,
evil man.
I'm your father.
So you heard it clean. Here it is with what we've dialed in for the slow distortion.
Switch or 3.
It's a 5. It's a 3.
It's a 3.
It's
we
a 3.
We won't talk about. Well, let's talk about what it's got then. And
Well, it's got
mahogany-
one, or it's got the other, or, and you're going to like this, Lee, it's got both.
Wow, radical.
It's a really good pedal. I prefer the amp on its own, but if I hadn't heard this boogie, I'd be like, wow!
It's just it's. I think it's reminiscent of the SLO, which is that kind of 80s kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's got two modes, overdrive and crunch, and we're in overdrive mode. Let's just try crunch.
Okay.
And we're using a clean tone to turn this around.
We've got a boost button on the SLO. So
Boost it.
Let's boost it. I'm going back to. Yeah, I like
a
it.
lot nicer to me. Oh, did you flick it to overdrive?
I put it back to overdrive. It's definitely it's the daddy sound.
In your eyes!
It's the daddy sound.
That is sound. Launching man ropes.
So anyway, that was our little 30-second tour of the SLO. Come to Andertons and try it if you want to.
These are great. They are Monkey Lord approved. Rob Chapman enjoyed. I think they're really good. Do you know what? We've actually been fortunate enough to demonstrate some guitars that I really, really like this last couple of days here at the Andertons
As opposed to reviewing guitars that you can't stand, you mean? Normally?
Well, no, I never find a guitar that I can't stand, but there are some guitars that get me excited about playing the guitar. Like, I wanted to play that one the second I saw it, because I know it's going to be great.
Is that like the great quote of, all guitars are born equal, but some are more equal than others?
Yes. Of these three, this is the best. For me.
For you?
For me.
For me, it would
it's
be this
entirely
one,
subjective.
or this one.
But the thousands of dudes who go, Chappers, I've got this much money, what should I buy today? And I always say, buy whatever you like, because that's what you want to buy, really. If you were to ask me which of these three you would want to purchase, I'd say get that. If you don't want the Floyd, block it off. Say you've got that weight on the bridge anyway, and then you've got the option. Then it's very easy to block off a Floyd. If you don't know how to do it, look up my video on how to block off a Floyd.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Have you?
It's very, very popular, that video.
Oh, okay.
The neck profile is awesome. The pickups are amazing. The simplicity of one volume knob and a three-way is perfect.
Have you seen Rob's video, How to Get a Burton? That's an extremely well-watched video. So,
What a first date.
yeah, and so if you're watching in America, obviously I don't mean a bird like a chicken.
Yeah,
I mean a bird like a woman.
This is compliant to the Roche directive, which is good. Because
excellent. So it's
not all
lead-free.
gear is.
It's
Russia.
lead-free and completely non-radioactive.
There's not a lot more to say, really, apart from you put a massive handprint on that one, which I think means that it's probably about worth less now.
No, more.